Hey, it's me, Vicky Marie, and good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in this crazy world we're living in. So I'm still poorly, I'm afraid. That's why I've got the scarf on. My throat is still bad, but I just, there's so many videos that I want to make, not only about John and of course John George, who we're going to talk about in this video. Is so important, and this is a case that's ongoing, but of course John has been found. His family have returned to Northern Ireland. John will be following behind, not long, hopefully, in the future. A suspect was arrested and has been released on bail. Hopefully soon, very soon, the person that committed this murder and all the other people that were involved in it will be held accountable. So I just wanted to let you know that I went to the place today where John's family left tributes in Rockalice, and I wanted to just show you that a video that I took, and I want to go. Anyway, I'll explain it as I'm giving you the video, showing you the video, explain to you. Sorry, my throat's bad. I'm not on, I did manage to get some whiskey today, but I'm not on whiskey yet. I'm on Coca-Cola, but believe me, directly after this video, I think I'll be having a hot toddy. Try and save my voice. It's awful, like, not being able to talk for someone like me is really difficult. But not only that, I want to do the videos. I want to let people know there's lots of other videos that I want, lots of other things going on that I want to talk about. It's just so difficult. So I can only do short videos at the moment. I'm working on videos, other cases. Oh, I'm working on so many things, but I can only do them a bit at a time. And then my voice sort of gives out. Anyway, thank you for being here. Thank you for caring about John. And his family, of course. And I'm going to show you the area where John's family left tributes. And I'm going to tell you, I went there to try and find it today. I didn't take any flowers because I wasn't sure if I would find it or not. But now I'm glad that I didn't take any, because it's really... The weather is not good, you'll see from the video, and the wind is really getting up now. You might even be able to hear it on this video. All the doors are blowing and the windows are blowing. We've got more bad weather coming. It's so unusual for Spain, to have so much bad weather all at once. I feel so much for John's family, because not only they were searching for him, but the weather was awful a lot of the time that they were here, which made everything even more uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable enough, looking for your loved one that you think's been murdered, but then in those terrible conditions that they had. Anyway, it looks like it's going to carry on for a little while now. Another few days, and it's going to go cold again next week. So maybe by next weekend, some stability with the weather here will have happened. I hope so. It's just been really strange this winter. But anyway, it's normally cold, to be honest. In January, February, it's just that the weather was bad leading up to Christmas. That's unusual for Spain. Okay, so we're going to look at this video that I took today. Let me just see. Hi Yvonne. Hi Vonnie. And hi to anyone who's watching at home. Hi to lurkers. Hi to anybody who doesn't want to join the chat, I understand that, or people that are watching on replay. Okay, so let's have a look at this now. Honestly, this village where John has been found, it's not the best advert for Spain, but this is how Spanish people, they live in these pueblos. They're like little villages out to, going through all the little streets and everything to get to this place again. It's hi Mara, you go ahead and lurk. I think lurking, I'm going to create a hashtag I'm a lurker, because nothing wrong with being a lurker. I lurk on other channels. I try not to comment on other channels, only for the reason. It's not that I don't care about those other channels, and sometimes I want to join in the chat, but I don't, because I don't want to take attention away from the YouTuber. Because sometimes if you go on another channel and you're a YouTuber yourself and you make a comment, you know, the attention goes on you then, and at the end of the day it's their channel, the attention should be on them. I certainly wouldn't go on there and make a negative comment, but even making a positive comment, then sometimes people start putting the attention on you, and it's their channel. It's, you know, so I'm a lurker. I'm proud of being a lurker. uh, you know, because YouTubers need views. It doesn't matter if you're lurking or you chat, or whether you subscribe or you don't like or you do like, or doesn't matter, because views count. So, you know, people who are viewing, if you're viewing somebody's YouTube channel, whether you're pressing like or not, whether you're subscribing or not, I mean, it's good if you do, but just by lurking, you are still helping that YouTube channel. So yeah, I am a lurker. I'm proud of it. Oh gosh, sorry. My throat, I'm talking too much. That's the trouble. Just for a change. Hi, Bertan. So, yeah. So I went there today. I went through the Spanish village. These little poor Billy and his family must have thought, what a shithole. I don't want them to think that all Spain is like that. But the pueblos, these little villages, they are a little bit all the same. You know, but I think Rocales, where they unfortunately had to go to lay their tributes for John, it is especially a very strange city centre, if you like, or town centre. Oh my God, I've had to negotiate around children on bikes. I mean, and these are streets that a lot of cars go down. These are not streets that nobody goes down. This is right in the Pueblo, right in the heart of the town. And these streets are sort of, they look like they're pedestrianised, but they're not. And you're driving down it, and you've got this thinnest of lanes to drive down. You've got all cars parked up along the side. You're negotiating yourself. You don't know where you're going, because it took me about 15 minutes to get out of the place, because I had a sat nav on and it kept sending me around in circles, because places it was telling me to go, you couldn't go down because there were no entries. And then I had to negotiate around children on bikes. I had to negotiate on around cars parked, and also me going the wrong way up one-way streets, and also dogs just wandering around, because they don't seem to bother about letting their dogs out for a walk. They don't, you know, it's just like, oh, let the dog out. Dogs wandering around, sitting in the middle of the road. You've got to hope that they move out of the way. I mean, it's a crazy place. So God knows what Billy and the family thought of that. It's a very strange pueblo. Anyway, I did find that. I thought at one point I was thinking, oh my God, I'm never going to get out of here. I'm like trapped in this another bloody parallel universe, like just going around in circles trying to get out of this town. And not every time I went round, I ended up in the same place again. Anyway, I did get out, obviously, in the end. But it's a very strange place. Hi, Irish. It's a very, very strange place, Rocales. I don't want people to think it's, you know, an example of all Spain, though it is probably an example of a lot of little villages. So I arrived at the place.
Hey, it's me. So I found the place where John.
So you can see here are the tributes that John and the family laid, the flowers, and there's a poster of John. And I don't think a lot of people know where this place is, because I think there's a lot of people who are in Spain who've been following this case would like to leave tributes for John, leave some flowers, something, some sort of tribute. And, you know, I don't like to give away the locality because maybe the family don't want. Anyway, I have contacted the family and I'm waiting for a reply. They may not reply because, of course, they've got a lot of things going on more important than my message. But I hope they will reply, because what I'd like to do, with their permission, is, you know, go back. I mean, the weather's terrible today, so I got there. I hadn't taken any flowers because I didn't know if I would find the spot or not. I wasn't quite sure of the exact spot where the family had left tributes. And then I thought about, I was going to go off and get some flowers to put down there. But you can see by the sky, the clouds, black clouds, and there was forecast these terrible winds, which are now starting up. Now they were supposed to start at midday, but they're actually just started up now. The wind is blowing a hoolie around my house, which is away from this place, but not that far. So I expect it's the same there. So I'm glad. In the end, I just thought, no, I'm not going to put it. I'm going to wait till the weather gets better. It's rare for the weather to be bad in Spain, believe it or not. But when it's bad, it's really bad. So I'd rather wait till it gets a bit better, maybe next weekend or sometime like that. I'll just follow the forecast. At the moment, there are high winds and it looks like it's going to rain, though rain is not forecast. But all the clouds, there's black clouds, etc. So it's not a nice day. It's not a sunny day. It's not freezing cold, but it's just not a nice day. So putting anything there today probably will not be a good thing. The other thing, well, anyway, let's explain it. Let's look at the video. Yes, Bertrand, John was an excellent boxer. Have you seen those videos of him? And of course, he fought a famous Irish boxer, didn't he? And beat him. You know, John went off the rails. You know, a lot of young people go off the rails. It's sad, isn't it? You know, it's so very sad, because it's funny, because with him doing the boxing and everything, for a lot of people, boxing saves them. You know, if you've got a child, you know, a young teenager who's going off the rails, taking them to boxing is a brilliant thing to do, because it teaches them discipline. It gives them, you know, something to aim towards. It teaches so many things, coordination. You know, boxing is so good for so many things, and it gets out the aggression. You know, you've got all that angst when you're a teenager, especially boys, all that testosterone flying around. And boxing is a good way of sort of trying to put to a positive. Now, it seems with Johnny was into the boxing until he was 16, and then at 16 he went off the rails a little bit, didn't he? And then he ended up having to go to sort of youth detention, and that's where he got addicted to prescription drugs at the time. But he met a lot of people that were unsavory, and then, you know, it led to problems. But it doesn't mean, you know, just because someone has addictions, problems, doesn't mean that they're not a good person. I don't think there was any evidence of John doing anything in the sense of shooting someone. You know, how John's ended up being murdered by these people. You know, I don't think John did anything to justify that. And whatever John is, you know, a son, a grandson, a brother, a father, all those things. And lots of people go off the rails, don't they? You know, life's hard, isn't it? I think life's hard without a crutch of some kind. Everyone's got a crutch. It could be religion. It could be drugs. It could be alcohol. It could be smoking. There's so many different things that people cling on to just get them through this mad journey that we're on. And we should not look down on people that take the wrong route, as long as they don't do any harm to people. Anyway, So let's have a look at this video. So yeah, this pueblo, this town, it's a bit of a, it's not, you know, it's not a good example of how beautiful Spain can be. This is not an example of a beautiful place. There are some parts that are beautiful. There's lovely parts in the Campo, etc. I noticed that where John's, obviously John's body was not found there on the pavement. It was sort of down the road into the lemon groves. But they're beautiful. But it's like Spain, you know, you've got sort of like the countryside like that right next to these towns. And the towns, for some unknown reason, because Spain is a massive country, I'll never understand why Spanish people like to live on top of each other. They like it. They're not living in these towns because they don't like it and there's nowhere else to live. They like living in their pueblos where they come from. And it doesn't matter if they're rich, poor, or whatever they are. In fact, if they've got money and they have a house built, they'll have it built in the town. They won't go out into the country like maybe British people would do and want to live far away from people. Spanish people don't do that. They like to be right in the centre of everything, where it's all going on. Bangers, fireworks, fiestas. They like to be part of the community. They're much more gregarious, I think, than maybe certainly British people are. But I suppose British people, it's different in Britain because Britain's a small place and people like to get out into the country, don't they, to get away from people, whereas Spanish people want to be with. But anyway, I don't know what the reason is, but I have definitely noticed that this town, the actual town of Rocales, there's a lot of places all on top of each other. But then you've got big areas of campo or countryside. And I think where John was left is a private, there was a chain up, but it seems to be a place where people walk their dogs, taking no notice of the fact that it probably is private land. But, you know, it's a commonly walked part of the town. Now, what I noticed is because here, where this, where John's family left their tributes, and there's houses all around. So I just think somebody may have seen something that day. I'm sure the Guardia have been out and asked people, I don't know, maybe knocked on the doors of the neighbours to find out if they heard anything, saw anything, had any dash cam video or door cam video or whatever. Because it's so built up there. If they had to go there to actually take John to put him where they put him, or maybe they drove up the path, they may have been noticed. They may well have been noticed, I think. It's just right next to a load of apartments. Anyway, let's have a look at the video.
His family laid their tributes for John George, and presuming he was found maybe over here somewhere amongst the lemon groves, but I'm not going to obviously walk down there. I haven't brought any flowers because I wasn't sure if I could find it or not. I will come back now I know where it is. But what I'm going to do is rearrange the flowers a bit.
Yeah, because we've had a couple of windy days, so the flowers that they'd laid and the poster, etc., they were a bit sort of strewn around, which is a shame because the wind will have done that, and it will probably done it. I mean, I've rearranged them and put them back up there, but probably now because it's windy, maybe it's scattered them a little bit. Not scattered them, because they did put some rocks on top of them to try and keep them there. But I don't know.
Oh, stand them back because it's going to be windy later. It's going to be a windy day today. So they'll probably fall down again, but I'll be back at some point to put my own flowers down. And I want to rearrange the things, and they've put some rocks there so that they hopefully don't but they were sort of, it was really windy yesterday, so I just wondering how the best way. I don't want to cover up John's lovely face. Oh, lovely flowers.
Yeah, I thought that as I was there, Yvonne, because as I was there, well, some people, they were British people, they came up with their dog, that they'd been walking their dog on the Campo. A Spanish guy came out and put his rubbish in the bin, because the bins are just near there. But there's so many, you know, I mean, it's not like just one house next door. There's like terraced apartments. And there's lots, so there'll be a lot. I bet they've been wondering what the hell's going on, and that's why I had that poster. Sorry, what I've asked John's family is, I'd like to put that in Spanish as well. You know, murdered, John George asesinado por malas personas, and also put on there, if you've got any information, see, you know, información llama Guardia Civil or whatever, you know, call the police, because you just don't know if they're Spanish and they've not really followed what's, I mean, it has been on the Spanish news, of course, but you know, you don't know if they even watch the news, or that they're not so big on social media, I think, in Spain as in other countries, because I'm not saying they never go on social media, of course they do, but maybe not quite so much, because it's a country where it's warm and they're out and about and doing stuff a bit more. I mean, I'm probably saying the wrong thing there, I don't know, but you just don't know, do you? Do they even know anything about this? Are they looking at that and thinking, why is that photo of that guy there? Why are those flowers there? I'd like to put a poster in Spanish there so they know, and they've got, you know, that what happened to John, and you know, why those tributes are there, and to ring, because you know, they're the most likely to have seen anything. They're literally, their apartments they were probably watching me going around taking photos. I'm not the only person who's been there. The Spanish journalists have been there. Other people have been there. So they must be thinking, what the hell's going on? I mean, imagine right outside your house if suddenly all these people appeared with cameras and started videoing and laying flowers and what have you. You think, oh, what's going on there? They might not even know what's going on. So I would like, but this is what I've asked the family, because I feel like I'm sort of interfering in their grief, if you like. I don't want to feel that.
But now I know where it is. If anybody lives in the area and wants to put some flowers down, maybe if you email me, I'll put my email. My video's gone all blurry for some reason.
Now, so I thought about that, and I thought, no, I'm going to wait till I get an answer back. I don't want to know if the family are okay with that before. So, you know, once I get a reply back, if the family are okay with people going and putting tributes there, I'd like to keep, and there'll be people even more local. You know, I'm not that local really, to be honest, but there'll be people maybe 10 minutes away that can come and just check on it. You know, it's important to keep, until justice is found for John, it's important to keep whatever tributes, you know, to keep everything in the public eye. And I think, you know, the Spanish people, they will be interested in John as long as they can read about it, hear about it in their own language. Oh my God, it's getting worse and worse. So remember, I did do a video in Spanish, and in fact, maybe I need to put that out again, circulate it again, or do another one, because the video I put out in Spanish, of course, was "Do you know what's happened to this man?" etc. Now we know what happened to John, so it's a different sort of video that needs to go out this time. So I think I will do that actually. Put a video out and put it on my YouTube, because on my Spanish and English channel, there's a lot of Spanish people on there who want, it's funny because it was originally a channel for learning Spanish or English. And of course, since I've started putting crime videos up on there, and especially the ones that are, appropriate in Spain, the views, people are interested in it, and people from all over the world, and not only Spain or the UK, because also when I teach English and when people follow me for the English videos, some people like to watch the crime videos. I know, because they've told me, and they put the subtitles on in Spanish. So there'll be people in South America watching, and in Spain, etc. And they use it, they're interested in what's going on, but they're also using it as a tool to learn English. So if I put I think I am definitely going to do that. I'll put a video up in Spanish to just say what the latest news is, because the last video I did in Spanish was still searching for John. Now John's been found. Now it's all about the justice for John, finding out information that might that will hopefully result in prosecutions. And yeah, Yvonne, this actual area is all Spanish. This particular pueblo, drive out about 15 minutes, 10-15 minutes into Quesada. That's a much more sort of cosmopolitan population. But I would say in this nucleus of Rocales, near to where John has been found, I bet it's 95% Spanish. So, I think it is a good idea, and I am definitely going to do that once I can talk properly.
Because I know there are people in Spain who will want to leave things for John. I may go and get some flowers now if I can find somewhere nearby to get them. If not, I'll definitely be back at some point. So yeah, very sad. I don't know if the car drove up there. You can see, let me just show you, whoops. There's like a driveway up here. I don't know if that's where they drove with John. And here are, it's like there's a lot of lemon trees up there as well. It's starting to rain a little bit. I'm trying to think what I can do to protect the flowers and the etc.
Yeah, you feel like you want to put something there that will cover over everything. I was like, oh God, I could see that it looked like it was going to rain. Well, I don't know if it's rained in that area. It hasn't rained where I am. It's just so windy. But there was these black clouds, there was little spots of rain. It felt like it was going to rain. And you just think you want to put something there that you can put the tributes underneath and that. But I'm going to think on about that. But I need permission for the family to do that.
It's going to be windy later today. And it has been very windy yesterday. It looks like it's going to rain, but I know people that live near about, if they know where it is, they will come and make sure that these things are always, or shown, or replace them with other ones. What people put that like that. Will that be? So I'm just thinking if it's going to rain. Has this got? This one is laminated. So hopefully that will, withstand the rain. But as far as obviously the flowers will die, but there'll be people will come and sorry, I feel like I'm interfering and I don't, I'm just trying to put them where they can be seen, and also when the elements happen later. In fact, yeah, I think I'm not going to get any flowers today because, it's going to be bad weather now. Wait till the weather gets better and then come back, and in a couple of days, when the bad weather's out the way, come back. And make sure John's face can still be seen and put some more flowers down.
That's it. The important thing is his face, isn't it? Because anyone who looked at that face is going to feel some empathy for him, because that big smile, until the people who have done this are actually, imprisoned, held to justice, it will never be over, will it? It'll never be over for John's family, because they've got to live with this forever. But the most important thing is over, in the sense of John's body has been found, is going to be taken back home. That's a big thing and it's important. But the next thing, the justice for John, is the next thing, isn't it? So
so God rest John, rest easy.
Yeah, rest easy, John. So as I say, when I get an answer, if they don't mind me doing that, I'd like to take some flowers up there. But I was thinking about flowers, and I was thinking I'd like to put something maybe a bit more enduring there as a tribute to John. And Spanish people will respect that. This is what happens here. I've driven past so many places that have obviously been scenes of maybe car accident or something's happened. Spanish people leave their shrines, tributes and things. And that's something that could be left somewhere there for John, that's important. And I think I know he's going home. I know he's going home to Northern Ireland. He'll have a big send-off and they'll look after him. I'm not saying that, but I think it's still important that in that place, especially where John was found, there is some mark to remind people what happened to John. And that it should never happen again, should it, to anybody else? And gosh, the day that they catch whoever it is, I mean, I'm not going into names and things like that, because that's for the police to do. But gosh, just hope they're brought to proper justice. And I'm going to start looking into Spanish, but I don't know much about Spanish prisons. I know there's a big one up there in Alicante. There's quite a lot of British people, Irish people in those prisons that have committed crimes in Spain. And I'm going to start looking into that and see what sort of I know that they do conjugal rights in Spain. Somebody I knew years ago, their wife used to go and they do have conjugal rights, but I don't know if they do for murder. Can you imagine? Sorry, no, I'm not going to say it, but they do that in Spain. You do get conjugal rights. Whether you get that, if you're this person I'm thinking of, they weren't in prison for murder, but it was drugs charges. But it wasn't murder. But I don't know if this is what I'm going to look into. Do you get? Does it matter on the? Does it matter what offence you've committed, or does everybody get conjugal rights as far as being in prison is concerned? I don't know. Is the answer to that. So I'm going to find out though, because I think that'll make an interesting video for the future. So yeah. Okay, so rest easy, John. I'll let you know when I know anything else. I'm so sorry that my voice is so bad in so many videos. There's other things that I want to talk about as well. I just can't talk, as you can see, just talking for However, well, how long have I been on? 35 minutes and my voice has gone completely. So I'm going to go off and have a hot toddy. But listen, thank you so much for caring about John. I'll see you really soon, as always, in the next video. And until then, may your God go with you and justice for John.